Entrepreneurs who are just starting off often wonder how long it will take them to propel their startup to greatness. Anyone can start a company, but not everyone can be successful. It is very motivating to read about the early misadventures of companies that are now very successful. All these companies started off with nothing, and a lot of them began operations in a garage. But here they are today, globally recognized household names. Here are top 10 biggest companies in the world and their humble beginnings. First in the lists at number 10 is Pizza Hut. Dan and Frank Carney opened the first Pizza Hut in Wichita, Kansas, in 1958, with $600 they borrowed from their mother. They only named it Pizza Hut because they ran out of room on the sign. The gimmick caught on. Their restaurant grew because the pizza was awesome and the service felt like home. The customers were treated as a family. With more than 16,000 restaurants and 350,000 team members in more than 100 countries, the two brothers had grown their business into America's #1 pizza chain. Next in the lists at number 9 is Subway. Subway's late CEO, Fred DeLuca, opened his first sandwich shop in Bridgeport, Connecticut, at the age of 17. Most people think Subway is named after the transportation system in New York City, but the name is actually just a shortened version of Pete Submarines. DeLuca named his first restaurant in honor of Peter Buck, the family friend who gave him the loan to start his business. In 1968, the pair decided to shorten the name to Subway, since it was a better fit for their radio ads. Today, there are more than 40,000 Subway locations worldwide, and the price of the company is reported to be around $10 billion. Dell Computers sits at number 8 in the lists. Dell was founded by Michael Dell in 1984, when he was still a student at University of Austin, Texas. He started operations on his own from his dorm room, with merely an idea and passion. Michael Dell aimed to sell computers that were IBM PC compatible and were built with stock components. At first, he started selling his products directly to customers on the pure belief that face-to-face interaction would help better understand the customer needs. When his business started to take off, he received a $1,000 investment from his family and dropped out of college to focus on his company full-time. His first computer was called Turbo PC, was sold for $795. In the first year of trading, Dell went on to make $73 million. And just a few years later, an initial public offering valued the company at $80 million. Dell made a $20.1 billion revenue and was one of the top 3 laptop vendors in the first quarter of 2017. Number 7 in the lists is KFC. KFC was founded by Colonel Harlan Sanders, who began selling fried chicken from his roadside restaurant during the days of the Great Depression. He was 62 years old when he started to gain profit from his chicken recipe. Before this, he had numerous careers, which included a job as an insurance salesman and a gas station employee. Despite being so old, Sanders did not let it get in his way and formed his brand image as Colonel Sanders, and in the process became a pop culture icon. Today, KFC is headquartered in Louisville, Kentucky, and is the world's second largest restaurant chain with a presence in almost 25,000 locations in 145 countries as of 2023. eBay sits at number 6 in the lists. Rumors has it that eBay was started by its founder, Piero Midyar, to collect Pez candy dispensers. While eBay gained a lot of traction from the story, it is termed as a fabrication. eBay is actually the result of a bored programmer stuck at home on a Labor Day weekend. Pierre developed the entire website from the living room of his house. His vision was to bring potential buyers and sellers to an online marketplace where they could discover things more easily. Pierre sold his first item in September 1995, which was a broken laser pen. By June 1996, eBay had made $10,000 in revenue, and Pierre hired his first employee. By that year's end, his revenues had touched $7.2 million, and the platform had 41,000 registered users. eBay closed in 2016 with $8.97 billion revenue and has operations in 30 countries worldwide. Halfway down the lists at number 5 is Starbucks. Starbucks has morphed itself into a status symbol. Everyone wants a Starbucks coffee so that they can post its photo on social media. However, Starbucks wasn't always making coffee and other drinks. In 1971, an English teacher, Jerry Baldwin, history teacher Zev Siegel, and writer Gordon Boker opened a store called Starbucks Coffee, Tea, and Spice. They invested $1,350 of their own money to start the business with the vision to sell dark roast coffee beans. While these three non-businessmen were struggling to keep their coffee beans business afloat, a man named Howard Schultz, who would later go on to become Starbucks CEO, entered the picture. Starbucks went public in 1992 and was one of the most successful IPOs of the year. Today, the company is functional in over 36,000 locations worldwide and employs over 402,000 people as of 2023. Number 4 in the lists is the giant fast food chain McDonald's. Before it became the phenomenon it is today, two brothers, Richard and Maurice, were running McDonald's as a hamburger joint in San Bernardino, California. That is, until a struggling salesman, Ray Kroc, came into their lives. He was the one who started the trend of McDonald's trademark large M logo outside all branches, high customer service standards, standardized operations, and less waiting time for customers. In 1961, Kroc bought out the founding brothers for $2.7 million and continued to expand the business. By 1965, there were 700 McDonald's franchises across the U.S. Today, McDonald's has over 1 million employees worldwide and served over 69 million people every day in 100 countries. Amazon sits at number 3 in the lists. Amazon was founded by Jeff Bezos in 1994. Before it became the massive online retailer it is today, it was just an online bookstore that Jeff ran from the garage of his Washington house. In just 1 year, he was selling books in America and 45 other countries, bringing in $20,000 in sales per week. In the next 10 years, Amazon had introduced CDs, clothing, and electronic items to its store. In 2004, Amazon made a revenue of $6.9 billion, which increased to $8.5 billion in 2005. Today, Amazon has transformed into a huge online business with numerous subsidiaries. The company raked in $514 billion in revenue last year and has made Jeff Bezos one of the richest men in the world. Next in the lists is Google, sits at number 2. Larry Page and Sergey Brin, two computer geeks, started Google from Susan Wojcicki's garage, who now serves as the CEO of YouTube. Google, which was initially called Backrub, officially started off in 1998 and received funding from numerous investors, one of whom was Jeff Bezos. The entire thing was developed by Larry and Sergey, but in 1999, when operations started to get a little out of hand, they decided to sell it. They approached Excite, a similar search engine, to buy Google for $1 million. An Excite venture capitalist brought down the price to $750,000, but they rejected the offer, and it turned out well. For Larry and Sergey are now one of the richest people in the world. Google is one of the most valuable companies in the world today, with market capitalization of $1.4 trillion. Steve Jobs' Apple sits at number 1. Apple Computer Company was founded on April 1, 1976, by college dropouts Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak and Ronald Wayne as a partnership. They spent the early years building blue boxes, which allowed people to make long-distance calls for free. The company's first product was the Apple I, computer designed and hand-built entirely by Wozniak. To finance its creation, Jobs sold his Volkswagen bus, and Wozniak sold his HP 65 calculator. The team went on to build 50 units of the Apple I in a small garage, and sold them for $500 apiece, and the rest is history. Today, Apple is one of the most valuable companies in the world. As of 2023, it has a net worth of around $2.5 trillion, making it the first company to reach this milestone. There you have it, guys. What do you think of my lists? Please leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe in my channel for more videos.